they deal with a 2nd and 6. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And
he's got a man complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A gain of 32 that time.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Chase Young, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And the Commanders are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain him.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Big Kenny Clark that time pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss. How about his performance last week? Over 200 yards. I think his decisiveness. One cut, and he goes. That's what's really made him pile up the yardage.
And the yardage he piled up last week, easily honored with NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I would have voted for him.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here. Steps away. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
So the field goal unit is coming on here, and boy, this is going to be darn near impossible. And supreme confidence in the kicker turns to supreme failure, as that is obviously no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. I guess I got to hand it to him. That was ambitious.
And that's one way to put it.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety? coming up and making the big-time play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On play action, it's Rodgers. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Montez Sweat showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Throwing now is Rodgers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. And they put it on the ground here on the 2nd drive. And, of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
Makes you wonder what's going on with this team because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves. But maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it is the preparation for the game. Maybe they just came into a little lackadaisical because that's just not looking good at all. That's just not the football that we came here to see.
They'll go again with Gibson. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Out of the gun, it's Howell. And he finds McLaurin. He's going to pick up the 1st down and then some. Touchdown, Washington! Terry McLaurin. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Commanders take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. The point after through the raindrops up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
As a general manager, you're counting on your 1st and 2nd round draft picks to have a big-time impact on your team. But where you make your bones, rounds 3 through 7. If you can find a few diamonds in the rough there, develop them, then you've got something going, and we're seeing one right here.
Yeah, plays like that lead me to believe that they found a diamond in the rough. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with career touchdown number 60. And the Packers are an extra point away from evening this one up. Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. With the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. Got a man, it's Tonyan. And it's a Packers touchdown. Robert Tonyan, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. That 7-0 lead in there is short-lived as they've now given up 2. Oh, Hal loses it. And the Packers pick it up. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. Extra point try now for Crosby. And oh, it's no good on the PAT. So they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 1st and 10 here for Hal and the Commanders at their 25-yard line. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. and 13. Powell slings this deep from McLaurin. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. With Sean Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback. Tress Way on fourth down is sent out to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
And quickly out wide, this is Watson. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Up the middle, Jones. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Gibson again. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the first down.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This from 54 yards away. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short, and the deficit will hold pat at 13.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. He's got Tunyon complete over the middle. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Rodgers now to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Montez Sweat. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Another try after the 1st down sack. Rodgers, and that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And they work this well upfield across the 45.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
A give up the middle to Gibson.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Powell to the air on 1st and 10.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
He's got it to Gibson.
And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers 16.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout
as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the 1st down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
Throwing here, Howell.
It'll buy some time right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
They give him 16 yards there, and it's a Washington first down. Straight ahead, Gibson.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. A 9-yard pickup, just 1 yard away from 3 consecutive first down plays.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And Thomas has it. And some space here. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 33 yards that time.
And as you saw right there, this is a guy with pretty good speed for a tight end. Nice job there, catching the short throw and turning it upfield. He can also be a weapon downfield as well.
They'll run with Gibson.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
They'll try to run it with Gibson.
That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. And let's get the ball back for us.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Jones with a first down carry, and he's going to wind up losing a couple as he's stopped behind the line.
So statistically, both of these offenses have a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete. They made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. That's taken on the 25. A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. In the 3rd quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Gets this out quickly to Dotson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a 1st down. A handoff for Gibson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now they go play action with Howell. And this one is incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
That's out to the flat for Gibson. Oh, able to avoid him. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 20-yard line. 17 yards that time and a Washington 1st.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Powell. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him. And the Packers are going to take over at their own 41. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break up their routes quickly as well.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Rodgers going to throw.
left with no option here but to throw it away.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to gallop the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Powell throwing on 3rd down here.
This one complete to Curtis Samuel.
And he's going to have a Commanders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Off play action. It's Howell.
Rolling to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Rashawn Gary. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You
yeah.
see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Third and long. Here's Howell.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Chase Young.
Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And that is incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch.
And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Al throwing on 1st down here.
Flush, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Here's Howell. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Back to throw, Howell.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. 41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you?
It's caught inside the 25.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, break it the football. Get it out. We got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over. Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
This is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers.
Eyes the crossing route and hits Watson.
And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Packers unable to pick up the first.
And the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand. First down, Howell to throw.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
From near the goal line, here's Howell.
Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
From the gun on 3rd down, Howell. Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On 1st down, Howell.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Howell to throw. And Dotson, he's got it.
What a big tackle there defensively.
One of the most difficult things for a defender to do, and think about the speed that he brought down. If he gets away, he's likely gone.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. Back to throw, Rodgers. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
William Jackson with a pick. And the Commanders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes.
And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Gotta figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. Rodgers looking to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Rodgers to throw. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Here's Howell.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Got an open man, finds Gibson. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts.
They get 17 there. Good for a Commanders first down.
They'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And this is caught inside the 5. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Back to throw. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1 is tempted to go for 2. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd carried into overtime.
I'm with you. I do see some fans that are holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. It's complete, and he's going to get in for the 2 points. It was an incredibly gutsy call, but they've taken the lead by a point late in the game.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team.
He's got a man, complete. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 53 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. To throw is Rodgers.
intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker.
William Jackson with a pick.
And the Commanders are going to hang on the final play. They get the turnover to seal this football game. Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second